Hello number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and today I have the displeasure to share with you one of the worst channels this website has to offer, aka Fake Professor Dave Explains. Because of course, guy is not a professor, I think we all know that. Alright, here is the lore recap. Professor Dave is a toxic content creator that makes videos about other people. I called out underqualified teaching assistant at best, Dave, for the toxic individual that he unquestionably is. And I did this on this very mild video. But since he has an inflated ego the size of Olympus Mons on Mars, he did not take the criticism well. He made this monstrosity of a video where, among the usual veritable cornucopia of insults fit for a 12-year-old child, he accused me of lying. He called me a liar. Since differently from him, I don't lie, I made this subsequent video response where I exposed his lies on screen for the world to see. All proven with receipts. So what do you think he did about that? Admitted his fault? Of course not, this is Professor Dave you're talking about. He made another video. This time we've got 52 minutes and 35 seconds of absolute pure cope. He's a scientist, he must have used reason and logic to debunk all of you. No, he called me racist.
Oh, right, because you're fucking racist. He called me racist.
Yeah, he's one of those. Another disgusting thing that Dave did on this video, which completely annihilates any credibility that he had left, is the cringe-worthy level of virtue signaling he demonstrated to the radical left. And when I say radical, this guy praised Hassan Piker.
Stupid jerk Hassan Piker, who speaks out against Israel's genocide, gets what he deserves because he's a butt-faced libtard.
So you wait. Oh my gosh. Not to mention he's taking Destiny's side and was annoyed that I made a video about Destiny blocking me, saying that the reason why Destiny blocked me was that I was a troll.
Destiny blocked me. A whole video on how someone blocked him for being a troll. Own the libs, own the libs.
You're taking Destiny and Hassan Piker's side. Let that sink in. On a video about how bad I am, he is praising and taking the side of Destiny, Hassan Piker, and a bunch of other clowns. This is the guy we're talking about. As I said on my previous video, no honor. Oh, and that's nothing. Apart from the 52 minutes of poisonous vomit, slander, and lies, he also thought it appropriate to insult my mom who recently died of cancer.
Devastating. Huge red flags. Flint fucked my mom. We don't have time to
Don't talk about my mom. Take my mom out of your mouth. This is Professor Dave. This is Professor Dave. But you know what's crazy? Even though that's morally bankrupt, as a way to, of course, undermine my argument and slander me, that's not even the worst thing he did on this video. We will watch some sections of this because I am not putting you through these 52 minutes of complete filth. We'll just review some of the most salient and relevant sections. With that being said, I'm just gonna say it straight to his face. You're a coward, Dave. You're a coward. Here is why. Look, I'm gonna level with you, number ones. I'm not gonna talk to you as a content creator for a moment. I'm gonna put that on pause. I'm gonna be real. I know that some of you are subscribed to both of us, me and him. But let's set aside the theatrics for a moment. He insults me, calls me dumb, racist, I insult him. All of this doesn't matter. We can call each other liars. The only thing that matters is the truth, and the truth is established through facts and evidence. So I'm asking you now to use reason and logic to figure out who, between me and him, is the liar. It's not that he's lying to me, he's lying to you and his audience. Check this out. On my previous video, he accused me of this. Exhibit A. Context. The previous video of mine was an extract from a stream. During the live stream, I was reacting to his video. I reacted for about 11 minutes, but then I stopped because he was providing commentary and playing sections of the Joe Rogan Experience between Flint Dibble and Graham Hancock. The reason why I stopped is because I didn't want my stream to get copy claimed. Let's see what he says to that. Okay, I need to stop it here. So I used to get claimed by Rogan. Maybe I wouldn't get claimed now because I told you I think he did whitelist me.
And that's where he bows out, claiming something about copyright, which is total bullshit.
So I lied. All right, let's see on the basis of what. Let's see how he defends that.
Claiming something about copyright, which is total bullshit.
Spoiler alert, here is proof from YouTube internals during that very stream. Proof. Evidence. He said this was bullshit, he said this didn't happen, I proved him wrong, he did not address this for 52 minutes. He did not admit it. But let's continue.
And he stopped before the hour plus of me proving that Graham is a fraud. Pretty convenient, isn't it?
He accused me of lying. He said it as a fact. He said it was not true that my video will be claimed because his videos don't get claimed. I responded with this. Exhibit B. Is it bullshit though? Well, no, it's not. And I have proof. The live. I found the exact seconds to prove it to all of you. So I was reacting to that specific interview. Stream suspended again. Oh, stream suspended again. Did you hear me? Stream suspended again. Okay, well. Yeah, look! Proof on screen, ladies and gentlemen. He said this is bullshit.
Claiming something about copyright, which is total bullshit.
Not only said that this... Look, read it. I actually showed the internals on YouTube. I was reacting to that specific interview. Error. Your stream has been temporarily blocked because we detected video belonging to someone else. Right? And you can keep reading. If you plan to continue, please ensure that the content owner has added your channel to their allow list, which is exactly what I said. I said, did he add me to the white list, Joe Rogan? I don't know. So I better stop this stream right now. He said, this doesn't happen. I just proved it to you. This is proof, Professor Dave. This is proof. And not only said that this was bullshit, but then he used this foundational premise. Oh, Metatron said he's stopping the live stream because of copyright claim, but that's bullshit. No. The reality is, so that was his conclusion. The conclusion was, the reality is that I was about to debunk Hancock and he didn't want me to. That's why he used this excuse of suspending the stream getting suspended. But here's the problem, Professor Dave. Even in the most basic rudimentary form of logics, if your premise is faulty, so shall be your conclusion. So your conclusion is a castle of cards that you have built on something that you perceive to be a lie, and because you consider yourself to be the ultimate authority on who's lying and who is not, you thought confidently that you had owned me with that one. But now I proved you wrong. So what are you going to do about it? As you can see, this is not... You could hate me, but I am right here. He was wrong, and he stated it as a fact. So I ask, what else does Dave state with full arrogant confidence as a fact, but he's wrong? I'll tell you. Calling me racist. And there are a lot of other things where he does this. But what's important is that I then issued this challenge to him. So what are you going to do about it? You can admit fault. I mean, he has a gigantic ego, so it's not like I'm expecting that to happen. If you fail to do this here, then what else that you call a lie? And who else that you've called a liar so confidently and arrogantly, may I add, wasn't actually lying? If you don't say that, then we have to beg the question, what else does he not admit that he called it a lie? There was proof, but he ignored it because he has too much of an ego. And of course, I gotta do a response, don't I? Man, you know what? Dave, I'm just gonna call you Dave. Dave, we can keep this up. We can keep this up. Like, I'm fine with it. I make a video, you make a video, I make another video. We can make a whole season. Let's make a series. Differently from you, Dave, I have the truth, and I can prove it. I provided receipts in my previous video. Did he address it? No, because he's a coward. Dave is scared, and this is damage control. Did he address this in 52 minutes of video? No, he never did. Had he recognized this mistake and apologized for calling me a liar about it, I would have accepted the apology. Because you know me, I do that. When I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong and I apologize for it. He hid it, going into complete, utter cope and damage control. Do you see this? What kind of man does that? And what else did he get wrong and hid? And all of this just because he did not want to admit that he was wrong. 52 minutes to admit it. He didn't mention it once. He didn't even address it. Why did I decide to not watch your entire video? Coward. Address it. Codardo. Codardo, vigliacco. Address it. Why did I stop watching it? Because you lied about that and I proved you wrong, Dave. So why did I stop watching? He's still not saying it. He's still not admitting it. This guy's not about the truth. This guy's a pathological liar. And guess what? He did not address the section where I proved him wrong. Thumbnail is pretty cool. I'll give him that. Although the rainbow fits him more than me. All wrong. It's wrong. I'm not toxic, says the crying clown. He was very toxic. I destroyed him, proved him wrong, and that he could not stand. But let's see how he's gonna defeat my argument and demonstrate that on the previous video, I didn't actually destroy him. I gave him a challenge. Do you remember that? This one here. Okay. Is he gonna prove me wrong? Is he gonna be a man for once in his life?
Hey everyone, as you know, a lot of people on the internet hate me, and sometimes they make videos whining about how mean I am. When I remind them how that's a really pathetic thing to do in response to me exposing grifting frauds, sometimes they throw a toddler tantrum and double down on their whining.
One thing you'll notice about this guy is that this entire thing is projection. This is all projection. He's the one who's throwing a tantrum like a 12-year-old for 52 minutes because we hurt his feelings. That's the truth.
Today we deal with one of those cases, so let's get started.
Let's go.
Some of you watched a video I made recently where I highlight the toxic gaslighting behavior of the thousands of trolls who infest my channel. They watch precisely none of a particular video debunking a fraud they worship, hurl insults at me as though it refutes anything I said, and when I remind
Hurl insults at me as if it refutes anything I said. So you would not need to do that then to debunk me, am I right? So this is going to be like 52 minutes, zero insults, just attacking my argument, am I right?
them repeatedly that they're pathetic trolls who didn't watch the video precisely as they deserve. They just whine about how mean I am, since they're incapable of engaging with anything substantive.
Excellent.
This is a pattern of behavior that I've been observing for several years now, and the frustration these crybully trolls experience at their toxic behavior not landing because I refuse to be gaslit by them has spilled over into other areas of the internet, hence the whiny Reddit threads of precisely the same energy, and so forth. In addition to shaming these trolls and contextualizing their reality
Breathe, brother. Breathe, man. That's... Oh my gosh.
Against a backdrop of Zionist propaganda meant to shut down those who speak out against Israel's genocide and MAGA behavior.
This has nothing to do with me whatsoever. So what he's doing now is virtue signaling, because he knows that a big chunk of his audience are radical leftists of the worst kind, like people that if you are a left-winger watching this, yeah, they would hate you as well. The cultists that he has accumulated over with years and years of toxicity and disgraceful behavior, which is what he does, and continuous ad hominem attacks. And those are the only people that entertain this. Even this video, right? That's the kind of audience he has. I've seen them in my comments. I don't even dignify their comments. So he has to virtue signal to them. So they're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's one of the cult. So let's see who is this person, me, who doesn't belong to the cult. You're absolutely right. I don't belong to the cult. I want zero association and the qualified teaching assistant Dave. And I'm telling you this much. If you think, well, but you're insulting him too. Yeah, because it's 52 minutes of insults. I didn't insult him in my first video. I only said it was toxic, which is a fact. 15, 20 times in the previous video, and now 52 minutes, I'm going to insult him back. Absolutely, I'm going to insult him back.
That targets any objective appraisal of Trump's descent into fascism. I also highlighted 2 videos made by other creators that exemplified this precise troll behavior by doing nothing but whining about how mean I am. After scolding these 2 for their antics, Norbert made a half-assed rebuttal, which was not received well, and then he deleted both of his videos. Which honestly is about as respectable a reaction one could expect from such a person. An apology would be better, but a silent admission.
Why would anyone apologize to the likes of you? This is gaslighting of the highest degree. You attack people, fascinating. So you are the one who is slanderous and attack people ad hominem. And then they need to apologize to you for calling you out for being toxic. You're out of your mind.
A fault will do just fine, and our interaction is over. But the other guy, this toolbox named Metatron, had a different plan.
Ooh, toolbox, man. He defeated my argument, guys. He called me a toolbox. So that defeats my argument, am I right? Defeats my argument.
He decided to not watch any of the rest of the video explaining how trolls get exactly what they deserve from me and double down on his pathetic whining. Oh, and there's some slander in there too. Check out this piece of garbage. Exposing Professor Dave's lies about me.
Yeah, you did lie.
Oh my goodness, whatever could these lies be? What an awful lying liar I am. We're gonna get a load of this turd fest in just a bit, but since he's going to whine a lot about how I didn't do any research and I don't know anything about him, and since most of you probably...
That's absolutely the truth.
I'm not the one doing research. I'm referencing research. I'm not the one doing research. I'm referencing research.
Self-admit, this is a confession.
Don't either. Let's dig a little and see what we can come up with, yeah?
Okay.
Looking at his...
I got nothing to hide.
His most recent videos will give you a great sense of who this loser is. More than half of his content is low IQ culture war slop with blatant clickbait titles. They lied. This is revolting. Who lied? Click to find out.
Be that as it may, at this point I could have the worst thumbnails and titles on this entire planet. It's still completely irrelevant to whether or not you lied. What you are doing now, Dave, is obfuscating. This is irrelevant. Also, hate the game, not the player. Sure, to stay up the surface of this nonsense YouTube algorithmic race, I had to use some cringy titles. At least I didn't have to sell my soul like you did with your failed channel, when you transformed it from an educational channel that was not getting any views whatsoever to vomiting pure slanderous poison and lying about people, pandering to the worst scum this planet has to offer. Yeah, I'll take my titles.
Since he's been exposing my non-existent lies, I bet this one is a banger too.
Lies proven on the screen, Your Honor.
Also, no doubt, glazing Asmongold, who
Yeah, I think Asmongold is 10 times the man you are. What you gonna do about it?
is a white supremacist that has spewed hate speech against
white supremacist. And everyone clapped. Boom, Dave. So it's another buzzword. You're in a cult. I'm not in a cult, so I don't have to use the buzzwords that you use. Oh, white supremacy.
Palestinians. This is crossing the line.
It is.
Awful. What is? Who is that? Click to find out. Disgusting. Awful. What? Click to find out. Banned. Stupid jerk Hassan Piker, who speaks out against Israel's genocide, gets what he deserves because he's a butt-faced libtard.
So you wait. Oh my gosh. Are you saying you're defending Hassan Piker? He just spoke highly about Hassan Piker. Picture that for a moment. Picture that for a moment. I don't care about Hassan Piker speaking about Israel. I'm not from Israel. I'm an Italian who lives in America. If anything, my allegiance now is with the United States. Hassan Piker has called for the blood of conservatives on the streets. Bloods and guts, he said. He literally did calls to violence against conservatives, and you are praising him. This is Dave. This is Dave. He defends someone who calls for violence against those who don't think. Okay, I have a question for you, Professor Dave. What do you think of what happened to Charlie Kirk? What's your opinion? Why don't you let me know? Please make a post, make a video, if you have the guts. What do you think of Charlie Kirk and what happened to him? I'm waiting. Defending Hassan Piker. Oh my gosh, I did not think it was gonna go down this low. That's Professor Dave for the world to see.
Complete with AI-generated image of Hassan crying, so when Metamoron whines about the thumbnail for this video, you can all remind him what a worthless hypocrite he is.
I didn't make that thumbnail. I used Asmongold's thumbnail. Here it is, Asmongold clips. I did not make I did not use the AI. What does that have anything to do with it? How am I a hypocrite? First, I don't care about the thumbnail you made, but even if I thought the AI you used was cringe, I'm reacting to Asmongold clips, so I added my face to the side, as everyone can see, of Asmongold's thumbnail. I did not use AI to create the thumbnail or the face. Oh my... Oh, this is embarrassing. You see, he doesn't do research. He doesn't research anything. Man, this guy gets everything wrong. Is he gonna defend Destiny now? Of course he's gonna defend Destiny. The worst. Even lefties hate Destiny. And even liberals give trouble to Hassan Piker. Liberals think Hassan Piker is too much. But please, let's see Destiny.
Destiny blocked me. A whole video on how someone blocked him for being a troll. Own the libs. Own the libs. Can you imagine someone more pathetic than this? And
you?
then, of course, all the thumbnails I showed you in my previous video, which were already sufficient to know who he is. What is there of actual substance?
So basically, how many? How many? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 thumbnails are sufficient out of 1,000 videos, probably 1,200 now, to know who someone is. It once again proves Davey does no research.
I'm not the one doing research.
He decides out of 8 thumbnails. He sees 8 thumbnails. By the way, I want to remind you this to really drug him through the mud, like he says, because he's the one who deserves it. He looked at this video, he looked at the videos where you could see Hancock, and he thought that I was someone who defends Hancock and in fact agrees with him. Because that's what he does. He doesn't care about the truth. So he's going to see this when I say, is this legit? And he's going to think that I'm a conspiracy theorist, that I think that the Great Reset theory is real. This is the level of research that Professor Dave does, meaning zero, as he himself has self-owned, admitted it's a self-own. And he's so mad. You can tell this guy's going to cry on this video. He's self-owned. I don't know what to tell you, man. And yes, I think Andrew Wilson is 10 times the man you are. I think Hassan and Destiny are awful, disgusting human beings. And I put you on the same level. That's my personal opinion.
Showed you in my previous video, which were already sufficient to know who he is. What is there of actual substance? One video on the Irish potato famine, and another members-only video on ancient Rome, also with a clickbait title.
That's 11 days. I post 30 to 60 times a month. So no, there is a lot more substance, but once again, does he care about the truth? And still zero attacks to my arguments. Nothing. My argument was, let's reframe it, because he's flabbergasting. One, Professor Dave is toxic. I think he lost that one completely, logically, because he's been ultra toxic. So yes, he's toxic. I won already. He didn't do anything to try and combat that. That was my first argument. My second argument was, he lied about me on the reason why I stopped watching his video when the Joe Rogan interview commenced, and I challenged him, once I've shown proof on screen, to speak about that. And he's not going to do it because he's a coward. Because I won. Those were my arguments. I don't have any other argument. You can try and paint me as badly as you want. We can insult me all day. It just shows you were defeated. And you just can't take it because you have too big of an ego. Also, where is the slander, by the way? Where did I slander you? Because I didn't say anything false, contrary to you.
This dumbass loves arrows, by the way. On the thumbnail,
he's right. I do love arrows.
Accusing me of being a liar, where my face takes up half the thumbnail.
Yes.
Did he really need an arrow pointing to my face? Oh,
man. No, I just like the arrow, so I'll take the critique, the constructive criticism. But since it seems like that arrow really pissed you off, it must be your disapproval of archaeology at this point, then I think I'm happy I did put it there.
Oh, right. That's the first commandment of clickbait thumbnails.
Obviously, we're going to check if any of his videos are clickbaity.
Gratuitous arrows. It's very amusing to watch someone who makes such worthless bottom-of-the-barrel content act like a smug superior douche, as though he has any kind of standards whatsoever, and as though this content can possibly be thought of as anywhere near as academic or socially relevant as my content on...
Man, what a narcissist! What an arrogant pallone gonfiato, that's all we say in Italy. What an arrogant, sanctimonious... Who do you think you are, Dave? You're no one. I'm no one. We're just people with a camera sharing what we are interested in. Full stop. You're not a big shot academic. You're not a professor. That's a fake title you gave yourself. You don't have a PhD. You're not this scientist. You're not a scientist. And besides, look at the dishonesty. He's taking what he considers to be some of his best videos, ultra academic. Why is he not comparing them with my best videos? That would have been an honest thing to do. That's what it means to stillman. That's to stillman someone else's argument. You took the videos that you knew were low effort videos, because once again I post a lot, so obviously some of the videos will be low effort. I can admit that. I don't have any problem with that. You took those because you're scared of my good videos, the ones that have a lot of research, the ones that require a whole team, all of which every single member of my team is a lot more academically qualified than you, like on a completely different level. That's a fact. He didn't take that because he knows. He's afraid of the videos. He's scared that his audience is going to go click them and be like, man, this video is well researched. What is David on about? Instead, he showed those videos that were low-hanging fruit. You guys know this. I mean, you watch this. Low-hanging fruits that his audience is going to look at and for political reasons be like, oh, this is stupid. And then say, how can you compare that to me? To me, man, so arrogant, condescending.
But this is what trolls do. They attack those who remind them that they're pointless trolls. It's also worth mentioning that lots of people have commented on my channel remarking about how sad it is to see someone demolish his credibility by becoming this brand of
Yes, and the same type of people who hate you comment under my videos when I post them. That means nothing. I don't care. If someone says, LOL, Metatron is a Nazi apologist clown, do you think I care about what someone like this thinks? Or even someone who says, I used to like Metatron, he went completely anti-woke. I don't care. I really don't. If people, by the way, these are not people that are ready to engage with someone who's still being decent, but simply disagrees with them. And I haven't used the word woke on a title for years. But they don't care about the truth. What these people do, these people go into Reddit. There are specific Reddits dedicated to lie about me. They decontextualize me. They don't say anything when I attack. For instance, there are these Reddits that only show when I attack the left, but never show when I attack the right, even on X. Because I attack, even though I am right-leaning, I'm absolutely right-leaning. It's not like I'm hiding it. I'm not an extremist, though. I'm not a radical. I'm not full of hate. Like you, Dave. And as I've always said to my audience, you can be centrist, right-wing, left-wing, as long as you're decent people and you're not hateful, then I don't have a problem if we agree or disagree. I'm a Christian, you're an atheist, I'll respect you. As long as you're not one of those that is full of hate. It's really that simple. Now, there are people that go into Reddit and they see that they put all the, like, out of context, they cut a piece when I'm responding to someone and they show that so that it makes me look bad and they believe it. I don't care about people like this, because if you had any decency, if you see that they're painting me like this fascist Nazi, you will notice that, yes, I raised hell when Charlie Kirk died, and all of those progressives were laughing at him and asking for the more violence towards his children and wife. I raised hell, and I'm proud of it. I'd do it 1,000 times more. Yeah, I lost a few thousand people. I'm proud of it. And Redditors are like, oh, he probably was secretly gay with Charlie Kirk. They used being gay, the leftists, the liberals used being gay as an insult towards me. Just so you know. I also spammed my ex when people laughed at Rob Reiner's death, even though he was ultra anti-Trump and anti-right wing. But the people that laughed at his death, I've got loads of posts. Reddit never shows it. I have attacked politicians on the left. I have attacked politicians on the right. Reddit never shows you that. So I don't care about what these people think.
slop creator, how he used to make decent content, but then completely caved and went full anti-woke reactionary toolbox, and also how badly he's projecting by calling anyone toxic based on his own internet behavior. He's a pointless loser, and he damn...
Literally, this is projection. You are the one who is using... I didn't even insult him in my first video. I just said he was toxic, but he is the one who uses all the insults, and now I'm just responding in kind. This is projection.
Lashes out in all directions as his only recourse when called out. Everyone is trying to destroy me.
I actually admitted when I was wrong. I have removed videos. I debunked myself. I made videos apologizing to my community when I got things wrong. It's the lies, guys. It's the lies. Like, this guy's a liar. Again, he didn't do any research. He thinks this is research. It's not research, but you don't know what research is, Dave. You don't know what research is. Spending 3 days Googling my name is not research. And then reading it from my haters. This guy is a left-winger, former fan of the channel, and he made a video about me, this one here, and I responded to him and I thanked him because he was decent. He didn't attack me. He shared concerns, which I think some were valid, some were not. Some were overreactions and some were misunderstanding or mischaracterizations of my actual points. But I appreciated him and I responded to him. I put a link in the description. I put a link to his Patreon. And I said, guys, you should go and watch him, give him a like, because I really appreciate that at least for once, finally, it's a left-wing channel who doesn't make a disgusting hit piece full of lies about me, like Freda or the other of that kind. Or Dave, as you can see, proving the point. This guy's still a lefty. He was decent. He did not attack me ad hominem. And so I shared it. And I reacted to it. I was very kind. I was very understanding. I tried to see it from his point of view. And this is what I do. But he's not telling you about it. Drag you through the mud. He's dragging you through the mud. Haha, he destroyed you, wrecked you. Why do you even... You're wasting your time. It's a colossal waste of time because 80% of what you're listening to is lies. It's not true. So at this point, I guess it's like fiction. It's like watching fiction and you find it entertaining. And you find it entertaining because you think I deserve it? Do I deserve 52 minutes of lies and insults? If you think so, then whatever.
Anytime there is any depiction of black people in TV shows, movies, or video games, he throws a toddler tantrum.
So, and I am the one who slandered him? I am the one who slandered him. He's slandering me. He's calling me a racist. Out of what? What did I say, Dave? Did you watch these videos? Obviously not, because you don't do research. Watch them and tell me what I said that was racist. What did I say that is racist, Dave?
About that too. Here's a whole video whining about the casting in Chris Nolan's Odyssey.
So one thing I'm noticing, of course, is there you go, Himesh Patel, Corey Hawking, and that's not because of racism. Oh my God, aren't you, and your kind and your ilk, sick of just using this over and over again? Like when someone says this historical character was not black, please don't swap historical characters, and don't swap mythological characters either. I don't like it. I think it's respectful to maintain them the way they are. And I say the same for whitewashing. Don't whitewash black historical characters nor black mythological characters. This is what I say and I've been saying in every single one of these videos. And then here you are calling us racist for it because you want to undermine my argument. That's what you're doing. You want to call me racist so that you don't have to attack the argument. Is this really that smart? Is that all of your intelligence on display? Attack the argument. You still haven't. Lupita Nyong'o. So one thing I'm noticing is that, of course, the cast is extremely diverse. Now, isn't this set in classical antiquity, Bronze Age, whatever the heck? Isn't it set in the Odyssey, like 1200 BC? So how is it this diverse is my question.
Too ethnic. Of course there were no black people in Europe before the modern era, right?
I didn't say that. You see, it's straw man. It's straw man. I have videos when I talk about the real stuff that you don't research. I never said this. Like, how does he think he's a debunker if all he does is strawmanning everyone? This is not my point. Let me see if he even spelled it right. Strangely enough, he did.
That would be preposterous. Multi-ethnic society began in 1972. Europe was for whites only until color television.
What a clown. When will you attack my argument, Dave?
In reality, this is the most pathetic kind of loser on the internet. A mindless soldier for the anti-woke infantry who couldn't tell...
Yeah, I do think woke is bad, by the way, and I'm proud of that take, and it is my take, and I think you are woke at this point in the worst way possible.
Tell you what woke means with a gun to his head, and who acted like...
I know what woke means. I know exactly. Woke... Oh, I can't say it? I'll prove you wrong. Woke initially meant to be awake when it comes to social injustice, so that your eyes are open, you're not sleeping, and you are cognizant of how minorities are being mistreated when it comes to both sexual minorities and racial minorities. That's what it used to mean, and women's rights, although for some reasons that one went out the window when feminists started supporting Islam. But apart from that, that's what woke used to mean. And I said multiple times, had you done your research, Dave, I said multiple times I would have no problems with the original meaning of the word woke, but then the word woke was hijacked by some of the most toxic people on the internet, like you, who then pretended to care about social justice, but in reality did what you do, accused everyone of being a racist when they have just even the most basic, mild, and justified counter-argument or disagreement on any topic that had to do with or any type of minority, or you called us homophobic, or you called us transphobic. Well, it doesn't work anymore. So then the right wing hijacked the word woke to use it as a disparaging word to people of the worst left-wing radical type. That's what woke means. But now the left uses woke to try and shame people who use it. Oh, he's saying woke, cringe. That's what the left does now, yet you still use all of your buzzwords. So woke has become a buzzword for the right wing now. You cringe at it and try to use it to point the finger and shame, because that's all you can do. Try to shame people and attack them ad hominem, because you still haven't attacked my argument. We are 6 minutes in, and I don't think he ever will. Also, you are a coward because you're not addressing the lie. I proved you wrong. Why will you not address your lie?
and who acted like Charlie Kirk getting killed was on the same level as the JFK assassination.
I never made that comparison. I have no idea what he's on about. But I did make it very clear what Charlie Kirk's assassination is, how important it was, and how much it meant for me individually when it comes to making me go stronger on the political scene. What do you think of Charlie Kirk's assassination, Dave? Why don't you share it? Because I had the courage to say it. What do you think?
Anyone who represents the things he hates must be silenced, and anyone who exposes his
I don't delete anyone. What are you on about? I'm not silencing anyone. Another lie. Another lie. What? Who am I silencing? I never copy-claimed anyone. I don't copy-strike people. I don't delete anything. What are you on about? I don't say people shouldn't speak.
stupidity is enacting cancel culture. Always the victim, no matter how obvious his own offense is. Oh, he's also really dumb, too.
You said also. You don't need to add to. It's redundant. Either also or to.
He admits to being a creationist in this video.
When it comes to me, I'm mostly an old Earth creationist. And, to be specific, I am a day-age creationist. So to me, the 7 days of creation are not literal in the sense they did not last one day, but I see them as epochs of unspecified lengths of time. No, okay. So this is, if you're a Christian, you should not subscribe to him. You should unsubscribe because he mocks you. He thinks you're stupid if you're a Christian. He's doing this on purpose. When I say I'm a creationist, in America, usually that's connected to young Earth creationism. I've said many times that I believe the science, which means I think the young Earth creationists are interpreting the Bible incorrectly. I don't believe in young Earth creationists. And when I say I'm a day-age creationist, I did explain, but he stopped. When I say that I'm a creationist, I mean that I believe that God created us. Not that I take the full package. I explained this, but he cut it, because so that people can laugh. It means that I believe in creation like every Christian. That's automatic. But what type of creation is been a debate since the medieval period, in fact, since the beginning. In the Middle Ages, people were debating. I did explain that I am in between old Earth creationism. I agree with some ideas of day-age creationism because there is a linguistic reason. I've read the Bible in Italian, in English, and in Hebrew. And when you read it in Hebrew, there is some argument to be made when it comes to the word day, which could mean an epoch, which he would have been very angry if I didn't get my pronoun right. Yet, while he would absolutely white knight for his pronoun is he, him, or they, them, don't dead name him, but he's okay misrepresenting my entire faith, even though I explained it well on that video and on other videos. I absolutely believe that science and faith can go hand in hand. But even the idea of calling people stupid just because they have faith and they believe in creation?
Metatron, you're not quite as dumb as flat earthers or young Earth creationists, but you're pretty close.
How? Why? So to you, every Christian who doesn't say, there is no God and this was chance, we're all dumb? Well, fine, if that's what you think. I'm a Christian, I'm proud of it, and I think God made us. I believe Jesus created the universe. I do. You can try to scorn me all you want. People like you are mentioned in the scriptures. The people that scorn us, we are prepared for it. True Christians are prepared for people like you. Your boos mean nothing because I've seen what makes you cheer.
I would suggest that you watch my content debunking creationism in all of its ridiculous flavors, but we both know that's never going to happen, right? And of course, what would any pseudo-historian be without a desperate attack on Flint Dibble?
I'm attacking... Look, I'm going to be very pedantic on this because I have to be meticulous, because he misrepresents everything. Brutally attacking Flint Dibble's Saxon genitive, that represents possession, rhetoric, and argument. Guess what? I didn't insult the man once in 53 minutes and 55 seconds. In fact, we talked after this. And at first we were going to have a conversation. If you really want to know it, at first we were going to have a live stream together. So I think if I had actually attacked him on that video, personally, Flint, I don't think it would have been okay to come to my channel. I did not accept him, however, to come to my channel because he was ultra controlling. I have all the receipts because I have all the messages, but I'm not going to show them, even though I clashed with Flint, and then we had a massive argument on X, and then we don't talk to each other. But still, I'm respectful enough, I'm honorable enough, honor, something that, of course, Dave wouldn't understand. I'm honorable enough that I'm not going to show Flint Dibble's private messages without his consent. But I can say that in those discussions that we had on how this live stream was going to go, he was controlling. It was like, you're not going to read any super chat. And if they ask questions, I'm not going to say them. And then, no, I'm not going to let you control my stream on my platform. I'm going to read whatever super chat I want. And if people want to ask questions to my guest, they will be allowed to ask questions. And then if you don't feel comfortable as a guest responding to the question or answering, that's okay. But the idea that I'm supposed to, you talk and we listen, not gonna happen, Flint. Not gonna happen. So look how he misrepresented this. I never brutally attacked him, and I say it, read the title.
Brutal, devastating, huge red flags. Flint fucked my mom. We don't have time to
Don't talk about my mom. Take my mom out of your mouth.
Well, but he fumbles this shit every fucking time, endlessly whining over and over again about Flint referencing white supremacists.
Yes, and so do you, because we are sick of it. We have white supremacy fatigue. That's all you guys do. It's your mantra. It's your mantra. It's exhausting. I've debunked so many universities. Every time, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. Just shut up.
Accusing him of being racist towards white people. It's all he can do.
The radicals are racist against white people. What do you think? Do you think it's impossible to be racist towards white people? Let me guess. That's exactly what you think, isn't it? Well, prove me wrong.
Unreal. The intellectual bankruptcy is off the charts, and it's never anything about actual archaeology. It's all the culture war crap.
I don't do archaeology, by the way. I have a few videos on archaeology, as usual. He's lying. But I'm a history channel, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos that are all about the education. But when I think something is bullshit, I'll call it out. And I don't care that people like you try to shame me for it, because the reality is you can't attack our arguments. Otherwise, you would have destroyed me. If you, Dave, were so superior to me intellectually, your knowledge, your level of education, me and my entire team at this point, then why don't you destroy our arguments? Why do you have to lie and pretend that I have no videos that are actually deeply researched educational content about history? Why don't you show that? Why do you have to misrepresent everything? Why do you have to change everything and attack me directly, poisoning the well? Why are you doing that? Because you cannot. You're not capable of attacking the argument. Still no attack on any argument so far.
This is all this toxic loser does. He desperately attacks actual scholars while fumbling absolutely everything, whining about woke liberals and soiling himself.
Did I ever use the word woke liberal in combination? I don't even know. Maybe. We'll look it up. Do you that watch my content, but at this point, even if you're a hater, click a random video. See if I say woke liberals, I'm owning those libtards. When do I use this kind of language? What are you on about? I became more political after the death of Charlie Kirk and the disgusting response that you did not condemn, because you do not condemn your own side. I do. I've done it for years, trying to be as centrist as possible because I wanted to be, even though I was always right-leaning, but I tried to be as centrist as possible. But then that happened. People like you don't say anything, so someone has to speak. So I spoke. I condemned all the people, and I became more political on the channel because I truly believed in it. I truly believed that there was some evil in the world, and that it's my duty so that I can raise my son in a better place and in a better world to combat the toxicity. And the level of disgusting behavior, you have to admit that. I have seen left-wingers making videos saying, oh yeah, the people that celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, they're disgusting. I've seen them. You didn't do it. And you have had plenty of chances already to do it. You didn't. You just used the fact that I had a problem with Charlie Kirk's death. You just used it against me. Not once have you done the right thing, Dave. Not once.
Remember, all this toxic behavior is coming from the guy who made the video, Professor Dave is toxic.
It's not toxic what I'm doing. What are you on about? Having a difference of opinion is not being toxic. Insulting someone for 52 minutes while lying about them is.
Okay, with all that for context, shall we dig into this pile of horse manure? Shall we see what...
Once again, horse manure. How does that address my argument? And how does that prove that when I demonstrated you lied, I was wrong? I'm gonna have to repeat this throughout the entire video.
This tantrum is all about, which horrible lies I told. Okay. Let's take a look.
There is a channel, Professor Dave Explains. Many of you, of course, know him. He posted this video 7 days ago. There's a response to many content creators who have, over the years, called out the fact that he is toxic.
Many? You mean two? Two is many now? And is that really what the video is about?
Really? There are only two people. If you are a massive supporter of Dave and you hate my guts, can you admit as well? Can you say, no, I still hate you, I don't care, but that's a lie? Are there only two people that made videos against him? Really? In the entirety of the internet? In the entirety of YouTube? There should be more, though.
Or is it about the trolling and Zionism and MAGA and reality denial in general, making it very broad social commentary? How do you not even know what the video is about? Oh right, your dumb face didn't watch it, just like every other troll I'm mocking in that video. Sweet irony. Yes, you made a video calling me toxic for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, the reason is that you're toxic. How can you not see that? You see, people keep saying, even people that attack him, keep saying, but he's wrong with this, he's wrong, he doesn't know anything, but he's not stupid. I'm starting to think he is, because at this point, how does he not see that? Like, how does he not see? He must not have the intellectual capacity to realize that, yes, you're toxic, and you're being toxic on this video. How can that disprove my attack? I said you're toxic, and you're being toxic on this video. That proves me right. How do you not see that? It's so simple logics. Because if you are misrepresenting me and strawmanning the entire time while throwing a tantrum like a child that you are, and at the same time using insults that a 12-year-old would find pathetic and cringe, that's what you do. Unbelievable that you think that this is a known, and how do people watching you think this? Debunks me. It's ridiculous.
Those they didn't watch. You really know how to put the meta in Metatron, don't you, dickbag?
Oh, wow, he won. After this, my arguments are all null. Even in the comments, how he looks down on people, kind of puts me off. That's all I said, but apparently it was sufficient for him to lose sleep. I really hurt his feelings, I suppose.
No, you're a bug under my shoe. Your pathetic Dave is toxic video simply fit the theme of my video you didn't watch.
That means yes, by the way. The fact that he's saying this, you're a bug under my thing, it's because if I didn't hurt his feelings, he would have responded calm. But he didn't. He had to counterattack. It's an animal that has been cornered. And he's now going all aggressive because he knows I won. And he still hasn't addressed the lie. He still has, I'm not going to forget it. Coward, address the lie.
Nope, I don't owe anybody anything. If somebody punches me in the face in order to get me to punch them back so they can accuse me of being violent, I'm not going to avoid punching them back just because they've set up this infantile trap. I'm going to punch them back because it's my right to do so. It doesn't make me violent. It's called self-defense. The first puncher is violent, and the first troll is toxic. I will defend myself against character assassination if I please, with whatever language I choose. This all reeks of the precise behavior I outlined in my video. Zionists labeling anyone who resists Israeli terrorism behavior I outlined in my video. Zionists labeling anyone who resists Israeli terrorism as terrorists. MAGA snowflakes having meltdowns and shouting TDS at anyone who points out fascism and unconstitutional behavior. This is the reality denial that is destroying human civilization, and he's proudly exemplifying it.
Because, I mean, if he wants to debunk people who call him toxic and makes a video and he acts toxic, wouldn't it follow reason then that we're all correct about you?
No, because you'd first have to be correct in calling me toxic in the first place, dumbass. Being a toxic...
But you have been toxic for years. Of course we are correct. This isn't a matter of... This is how he doesn't really get basic logic. If you were a normal human being who's not toxic, and then I accuse you of being toxic, and then in self-defense you say, you act toxic towards me, that's one thing, but this is not. This is how you're trying to frame it, but it's clearly not. No, you've been toxic for years. Why? Because you had a failed channel that was not getting any views. And I sympathize. I also struggle with views. A lot of us do. Freaking Linus Tech struggles with views these days. Everybody struggles with views. So you were struggling with views. Nobody cared about your teaching content. So you went into this toxic spree. And that's how you saved your channel. It's a reality. This is how it is. And even to this day, he makes a toxic video, he gets 500,000 views. He makes a teaching video, he gets 6,000 views with 3.6 million subscribers. So he has an incentive to be toxic. And you did. You did it for the money. You did it for the money. And you didn't care who you were slandering, who you were lying about, who you were dragging through the mud, as you say. You didn't care about that because you don't care about the truth. You just care about the dollar. And you care about screaming like a child to people and insulting them so that you can continue to feed this weird, hungry, toxic machine that you've created that is your channel, that has all of these poisonous people that enjoy you insulting people and want more. And now you have to give them more. This is what you have created. And it's the only way this works. But then people call you toxic and you can't say, well, then I can be toxic back because I was never toxic. You were for years. It's demonstrable. It doesn't matter if you think individually you're not God. So what you think could be wrong. Dave, I know it's difficult for you to accept this, but what you think could be wrong. So when you think that someone is a grifter, or you think that someone is a fraud, sometimes you might be right, sometimes you might be wrong, but you don't care. And you're fine accusing people like you're doing with me. You're clearly wrong about me. You didn't research anything. This does not count as research. Half of what you're doing is strawmanning me. Half of what you're doing is direct insults because you can't prove anything. You're taking everything out of context and you don't care. But people will call you toxic for it and you can't cry about it. Well, you can if you want, but it's embarrassing.
Troll and calling me toxic for no reason isn't an argument. And when I
calling me toxic for no reason. His entire channel is a reason.
Shit on you for calling me toxic for no reason, you can't then call me toxic simply for defending myself against toxic trolls. You're bad at this.
The first section is the one where we will demonstrate without any shadow of a doubt that Professor Dave doesn't do any research when it comes to the people he attacks. So he will call you names. He will say, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, scientifically illiterate, you don't know anything. He will use all sorts of insults, but he doesn't research you.
I don't need to do any research, moron. If someone says something racist, I call them a bigot. If they confidently...
If you said something racist, so is Cleopatra is not black, is that racist? Well, according to you it is, because that's the kind of language I use. I've never said anything. Find it. Look through every video. You will not find a single time when I said anything racist against black people or any minority. You will never find anything. Every time I'm attacking activists, I'm attacking fake professors or professors who are real professors, but they are forfeiting their academic neutrality and their degrees and their expertise for pushing politics. And when I say politics, I mean left-wing race swapping. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. And in fact, not only am I one of those who said, instead of race swapping white people and white history into black, which is disrespectful to both white and black, why don't you show us real black history? I've said that. And you could tell me you're only saying it to pretend. No, I made two videos, entire videos, fully researched. They even cost me money. They cost me money to produce because I partnered with my team to research the Queen of Kush, Amarinenas, and I made a whole video to show what a real black queen is, rather than Cleopatra turned black even though she was Greek. How is that racist? You called me racist, and you were wrong. I've never said anything racist in my entire channel, and that's why I have black subscribers. Why would they subscribe to me? Because they know that I'm not like you, and I don't pander to nonsense so that people don't call me racist, and then they're like being fed up nonsense. At least with me, they know that I respect them enough to tell them the truth and to tell them, no, this historical character was not black. They're lying to you. How is that racist?
You've never proven me wrong, and they're...
What a coward.
Who else has been pointing out what a disingenuous fraud you are?
And there you go. Let's do the virtual signaling. Virtual signaling, guys, he's going to show the in-group versus out-group. Man, this is like tribalism 101.
Here's a guy named Freda who has also exposed you.
He didn't expose me. Freda lied. It began the video, which was about me, Shad, and Lindy Beige. 3 in the community of the sword, that's the name of our community. He hates us 3 specifically because we're not lefties. Okay, we're not lefties. But he likes Scalagrim because Scalagrim clearly has more left-leaning ideas. I don't think he has any problem with Matt Easton. It just so happens that Freda has problems with our research, just the 3 guys that happen to be right-wing, I think somewhat conservative, and right-leaning. Just so happens. Yeah? It just so happened. And then he's all buddy-buddy with Scalagrim in the comments. We're like, oh, Scalagrim is really good, guys. Watch his channel. Why? Because of that. It's politics. It's politics. And on this video, Freda began by saying, and all these people like Metatron, Shad, and Lindy Beige, they complain about women in video game. I never did. That's a lie. He didn't destroy me. It's lies. It's the same thing that you are doing. Freda, Hassan Piker, Destiny. Who else are you gonna like? Bad Empanada? That's another one you like?
On a video where you had the balls to pontificate as to whether the Nazi Party, a famously far-right totalitarian movement, was left-wing or right-wing.
You had the balls. So as you can see, with people like Dave, you have to accept what they state, and you shouldn't. Did you watch it, by the way? Did you watch it? You didn't watch it, did you? You did not watch it. It's just to you, this, because you are dogmatic. You're like a cultist, because you think, you pretend to be like science, but you're not. You act like a cultist leader of the worst kind. And what you do is you dare. This is what we say is the truth from our pulpit, and you all are supposed to say amen. Not, wait a second, how about we sit down and analyze this piece by piece, policy by policy, and you will notice that when you do this, there will be some mixed ideas, particularly if you look at it from an American perspective. This video was a very balanced take where I was showing that just calling it right-wing or calling it left-wing is imprecise simply because you're applying modern 21st century American classification. It's imprecise and in fact not apt to utilize modern 21st century American political nomenclature and applying it retroactively to 20th century European totalitarian regimes. It was a very balanced video that you didn't watch.
Childish response: "This YouTuber slandered us, so now we are taking him down. Cancel the libtard."
I didn't say cancel the libtard, goodness gracious. What? But it's clear that the guy is super far left, by the way, simply because he hates us on the basis of that. And then he says that our research is wrong because of politics. And then Freda said that my entire audience, I pander to frustrated right-wing men. Can someone explain to me how he knows not only that the entirety of my audience is right-wing, while it's clearly mixed? I have a big chunk of conservatives, obviously, but my audience is mixed. It's obvious that it is differently from yours because you're cult, Dave. But how does he know they're frustrated? Like, I don't get it. How does he know? It's nonsense, but I'm not here to talk about Freda anyways. Let's go on.
What a douchebag. Freda replied and humiliated him again.
Oh, he did talk about Bad Empanada. Oh my gosh, this guy. You're allying with the worst scum that there is on this platform.
Here's another creator named Bad Empanada reacting to his childish response to Freda.
Where he claimed...
Do you know who Bad Empanada is and what he has said? I'll leave it at that. Oh, and then he shows this clown, okay, another liar. And this guy finally shows someone good. Okay, wait. He's showing the left guy that I actually responded to very kindly because he was decent, differently from the others that he showed. Is he going to admit that? Or is he going to say that I cried? Let me see.
Now know that you're a pointless loser. How about one more from Not an Expert?
And I shared his Patreon. I told my audience, this guy has a dream. He was respectful. He has a dream. He's moving to Africa for a safari. And he opened a Patreon page. Let's help him out. Let's make that happen. How's that toxic, Dave?
Obviously, this is just a sampling of each video. Go watch them individually if
He didn't. He didn't say that I responded nicely and even pushed. Increased the range of that video. Do you understand that, Dave? I said, guys, go watch it, subscribe, check him out, give him a like. Why are you not saying that? Because you're trying to paint me as toxic. That's something you would never do, and it would make this entire thing collapse. How can you even trust him after that? Go check out my video. See how respectful I was. Prove me wrong.
you're interested in other people doing a much deeper dive than I'm interested in doing here. I'm just dunking on his pathetic hit piece. But the point is, Metamoron, it kind of seems like the whole internet knows what a joke you've become, minus what remains of your...
Not the whole internet, it's just a radical cultists, and I personally don't care what radical cultists think, because it's the same people that laugh at Charlie Kirk's death. So I don't care what these people think. I just urge you to repent and find Jesus at this point.
Dwindling echo chamber.
A couple of dedicated videos because the guy has zero phonetic training and his Latin pronunciation is terrible. So
I took 3 years of Latin in high school.
Doesn't show.
And that content was written by my mother, who is a classical languages scholar of 50 years.
Then I'm sure your mother is fantastic. I have nothing against that. I'm sure that what was written was all correct. I'm only talking about your lack of phonetic training. You don't have phonetic training. You pronounce the M. Imperium. You pronounce the M. The M is a nasal sound. Anyone knows that who studies Latin restored pronunciation. You just pronounce Latin like using Italian phonetics. Occasionally, you can tell that probably your mother at this point. And as you're noticing, I'm not disrespecting your mother like you disrespected mine. And your mother put the phonemic vowel length. Sometimes you respect it, sometimes you don't, which shows you have no training. And also, the phonemic vowel length, sometimes you respect, sometimes you don't. It shows you have you're not accustomed to do that. And you swap the G's, you swap the C's, you pronounce those in classical because you probably saw a 15 minutes video about it, and that's it. But you make every mistake that anyone who isn't trained and tries to apply Italian phonetics to Latin without training does or makes. So I know you're butthurt about this, but here we are. Again, not an attack on your mother. If she's a scholar of 50 years, man, more power to her. That's fantastic. I have a problem with the way you pronounce it.
She sends me audio files demonstrating the pronunciation.
Maybe she did pronounce it right. I'm going to give her credit. Because I didn't hear her. So let's say she did pronounce it right. But you weren't incapable of reproducing that correctly. You did not nasalize the M. It's a beginner's mistake. So I don't think you're in any position to teach. Maybe have your mum record those videos. I'm sure she's a much better catch for the audience.
And I copy them, which is very easy for me to do since I speak Italian and the phonetics are very similar.
No, they're not. No, they're not. As an Italian native, I had to be trained. And I learned a lot of it from Luc Ranieri, who is an American who speaks Latin much better than me and you ever will. Okay? Even this that you're saying, oh, I speak like, it's like Italian. No, it's not. Italian, in fact, Northern Sardinian is the closest language to Latin and the most conservative linguistic. Italian is the second closest. So yeah, we have an advantage, but there are a lot of things that we do in modern Italian that they absolutely did not do 2,000 years ago. I mean, I know you're not into history, but at least this, you shouldn't really need a history degree to understand this concept, Dave. And you showed every single mistake because you're too proud of yourself. You don't think you need the training. Oh, because I know Italian, besides, I want to hear this Italian. But I don't, yeah, the fact that you know Italian actually annoys me a little bit because I don't want to have anything in common with you. But anyways, you're too proud. You're prideful. You're too full of yourself. You think you don't need the training. And that's a big problem. And it's the same reason we figured out what the problem is with this man. He is too full of himself. He thinks he doesn't know to study because he thinks he knows everything. He does it with Latin. I already know I don't need to study. You did, and we can tell. He thinks he knows everything about me. I don't need to research. This is not research. You didn't research anything. You didn't watch my videos. You don't know the content I make. You don't know anything about my academic preparation. And so you just demonstrated that you saw 8 thumbnails as you demonstrated, cell phone, and said, oh, this guy, I already know everything I need to know. That's what you do. And that's not academic. That's not science.
Here's a sample of my mother doing that.
Si invenies amicum verum, vita tua erit beata.
Let me hear it again.
Doing that.
Si invenies amicum verum,
See, when she said that, she's definitely better than you. I can just know, like she could wipe the floor with you when it comes to pronunciation. I do want to say though, the first M was a bit still too pronounced. The second M was better. It sounded more nasalized. The V's are excellent.
Speak Italian and the phonetics are very similar. Here's a sample of my mother doing that.
Si invenies amicum.
Her S is frontal. It should be retracted. So... But again, I'm not here to attack your mum. I think she's a phenomenal scholar of Latin, I'm sure. I have no reason to not believe that. But you did a much worse job because, of course, it's like a game of telephone. So her audio sample is fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just nitpicking a little bit, but I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. It's cool. It sounds great. But yours didn't because it's a game of telephone. You lose because you are not trained, but you think you know everything, goodness gracious.
Verum, vita
Anyways, based mum that knows Latin. Based mum.
tua erit beata.
Si invenies amicum verum.
See, he says verum. That's insane. And he thinks he's winning. He thinks he's proving me wrong. Guys, please. Can Luc Ranieri review this? Can anyone who understands Latin show the monumental difference in incompetence between him and his competent mother? Please. His competent mother. Before anyone says that I don't attack a man's mother. Okay? The difference is enormous.
Beata.
Si invenies amicum
Invenies. Amicum.
verum.
Verum. The M is nasalized.
Vita tua erit beata. She knows exactly, let me repeat, exactly how to pronounce these words.
He's really mad, isn't he? Fine, she knows. You don't. I never said anything about your mother. It's you. It's embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing.
As she is a professor of Italian and classical languages for 50 fucking years. So I'm sorry, any example of you presuming that I am mispronouncing something is just you not knowing how to speak Latin since...
Okay, so guys, prove me. Who's right, me or him? Is it amicum? Is that the correct way to pronounce Latin? Or is it amicum? Amicum. Ask anyone who knows Latin. Is the M nasalized or not? He thinks he's so confident because he doesn't even know the existence of that rule. That the Romans tell us about, by the way. If we are really going to be. And I have a whole series of dedicated videos on my second channel when I justify every single choice. At the end of this video, just to slapping once more, I will put 5 entire minutes, 0 edits of me pronouncing Latin correctly. I'm doing a small presentation on the ancient Romans. Compare my classical Latin pronunciation, which was coached by Luc Ranieri, to his amicum. Amicum. It's at the end of the video, don't forget.
Look at these titles and thumbnails. Cookie cutter, own the libs content. If you don't like being called out for making this piece of shit content, then stop making it, you f***ing tool. I'm a science communicator. It's called explaining science. Good God, you are so bad at this.
Clearly, it's obvious. It's a pattern now. We can just use basic pattern recognition. If this is what he does with me, then clearly that's what it does in a lot of other cases because he gets away with it and it's rewarded with money. Therefore, it is quite obvious that a lot of the stuff he presents is false and fake. And a lot of the attacks he does are incorrect and based on false assumptions, miscommunications, misrepresentations, strawman attacks, red herring, poisoning the well. He does the whole spiel. He did it with me. There is a very high likelihood that this is not the first time that he rolled those dice. It's just that with me, I exposed him. And he's butthurt about it.
The whole video was you whining about how mean I am. So I was focusing on you whining about how mean I am, since that was the topic of my video, whiny trolls who just whine about how mean I am.
Check this out. This is poetic, guys. Check this out. How about we write racist and look through his entire channel? There we go. 22 videos. In 22 videos.
Okay, moron.
Right.
Pick one instance and disprove my accusation of racism.
Me. Done. Picked. I won. You said I'm racist. I'm not. I never said anything racist. Find one clip. I'm going to flip it. Find one clip where I said something racist. Because saying the Anglo-Saxons were in black is not racist. Find something. And if you think that's racist, then every other accusation of racism I'm going to question at that point. But that's enough. I found it. What you going to do about it? Me.
About me calling out racism. Why would that be? Oh, right, because you're fucking racist. Me calling...
He called me racist. And look at the lack of logics. And I'm the one slandering.
You reflexively racism, are racist, and continuing to do the exact thing I am making fun of you for. You are whining about me calling out racism. People are racist. I say they are racist, and instead of condemning the racism, you whine about me calling out racism. Why would that be? Oh, right, because you're fucking racist.
You see? No, you just lost all your credibility. So I have a problem with people calling everyone racist. And so when I see people spamming the word racist, I question it these days, particularly if they come from left-wing circles. Let's be honest about this. And then you say, but why would you have a problem with that? Oh, because you're racist. You just proved my point. Like, this guy is so stupid and illiterate at this point. He doesn't even recognize he's like owning himself. I'm not even owning him. I can't even say I owned him because he owned himself. I didn't destroy Professor Dave, Professor Teaching Assistant Dave. He destroyed himself. You just did it. You called me racist on the basis of what? Nothing. That's not enough to call someone a racist. You need to wait for me to say something actually racist or do something racist to then justify your attack.
You reflexively complain about accusations of racism because you've been called out for being racist.
No, I've been called racist. That's very different from being called out for being racist. Prove it. Prove it. How am I racist?
Clouds and pumping out culture war slop. There's no point in digging any further.
You are in the culture war. You just call it science. It's a dress-up.
This video doesn't deserve to be any longer than this, but if we did, we would find him crying about replacement theory, defending ICE, whining about the liberal media, all the horrible...
Prove it. Prove all of this.
...racism against white people.
Oh yeah, that one is true. Absolutely.
His ideology is a fucking porta potty. And when anyone points out his toxicity, his laziness, his dishonesty...
How is it toxic to complain about people being racist towards white and then pretend that that's not even a thing? They're like, no, it's not possible to be racist towards white, so they can say the most despicable and violent things about white people. How is that being toxic?
Or his irrelevance, through very deserved mockery, he plays the victim, just like every single worthless troll I exposed in that video he didn't watch. The ones who think that being angry about being shown for precisely what they are is somehow a valid rebuttal. That's why he's doubling down here, whining about how mean I am, all while refusing to acknowledge the toxicity of those who I expose. It's just more gaslighting, more
Not a video about those you expose, it's a video about you.
Clutching, more virtue signaling, more slander,
Says the virtue signaler. Projection.
more projection, further embodying everything I warn my viewers about. It's actually breathtaking to see someone this oblivious, this eager to dig his own grave, like he's in a race to become completely irrelevant. Isn't it sad? I never would have even heard of you, Metatron. You were not in my sights at all. But just like so many delusional egomaniacs before you, your hubris is your downfall. Norbert had the sense to delete his videos, and his reward is
Yeah, I'm not deleting anything. Because I clearly won. You lost, and that's why you're so mad. If you had won, you would be happy. You would be like, look at this guy. You're not. You're so mad. You're crying. You're shaking. You're like, you can't even breathe. So, and he wants me to delete the video. I'm not deleting anything because, again, it's a victory. Why would I delete it? Just like today.
that episode being swiftly forgotten. But you're just begging to join my collection of punching bags. Judging from the comments by people who used to subscribe to you, you'd be a welcome addition.
It's the same. I have all of those about you. So what?
Indeed. And if you're petty enough to try and nitpick my academic content that you're not qualified to comment on,
I will. We are a lot more qualified than you. With the team, we don't even see you.
Exactly what you'll get. So that's it for Metatron, the whiny little anti-woke baby. Honestly, I'm at a bit of a loss for how to sign this one off. Let's see. How did he finish his video?
Because you have no decency, no moral, no honor, no truth, no respect for the truth. And you're just a bully based with the ego the size of a mountain. Yep. Oh, and let me add in Sicilian. Te si minchia.
No honor, no respect for the truth. Pretty
Yes.
big words for such a pointless loser troll. But since none of this seems to be
Man, he's like 12, literally. He's like, your nose is big, you stupid.
getting through to you, let's put it into terms that even you can understand.
Right.
Va bene, Metatron, sei proprio un bischero, vai a cagare.
Is the family from Tuscany? Well, Bischero, well, I think, but Bischero is funny, actually. I was expecting very different, actually. Bischero, the family must be from Tuscany.
To everyone else, arrivederci. I'll see you next.
I'm not sure about this Italian, though. It sounds a little exaggerated. Is he actually native? Because it doesn't sound native. I'm not questioning. I'm sure he speaks it, but is he native? I wonder if he's native. I'm going to have to look into that.
Next time.
What a clown show. Yeah, he didn't show it. Guys, he did not show the part where I proved him wrong. So yes, Dave, you're a coward. You're a coward unless you show that. You have to respond to what I challenged you. My challenge was, you're toxic, and you say, no, I'm not toxic, while being toxic because whatever, you responded to that. You're wrong, but fine. At least you responded. You did not respond to the one, though, where I said, I challenge you. I proved you wrong. Here, I showed the clip. You didn't respond. Why? Are you scared? Are you afraid? I'll be waiting.
Salvete, nobiles mei, ex optati revenitis ad canale meum, hic Metatron vos allocor. Hodie de lorica segmentata loquemur. Per nomen ipsum incipiemus, lorica segmentata, num se quocatur ab antiquis Romanis. Pro dolor quo pactor ecte vocaretur, hoc loricae genus a Romanis neminens scire constat, hoc nomen lorica segmentata novatum est, a scholaribus hominibus saeculi sextidecimi. Tamen lorica segmentata est ipsissimum genus loricae quod repente in mentem venit quando cunque cogitemus de militibus Romanis. Propterea quod saepiuscule tot stenditur, nec raro in modo cui contra chronologia rerum gestarum pugnat. Hic autem est legionarius imperi Romani cui primo fere saeculo militabat, Gaio Iulio Caesare Octavian Augusto regnante. Hic vero miles rei publicae militans in legione Iuli Caesaris in Gallia. Videlicet rei publicae legionarius lorica segmentata armatus parum historicus est. Secundum historicos spatium trecentorum annorum lorica segmentata adivita est. Omnibus alis saeculis lorica hamata, qua est lorica anellis perreis instructa usitatior est, apud Romanos. Oportet anca esse imaginem quae ad mentem nostra redeat. Neque isto. videmus lorican segmentata in praeclara columna Traiani depictam, haec enim columna triumpalis in foro Traiani Roma esita, monumentum ibi positum post victoria iusdem principis Traiani victoriam in bello daco. Lorica quam hic videmus, vero ad modum speciosast, neque enim accurate veri similen, lorica segmentata reprae sentat, eandem difficultatem percipimus in gale iscutisque, quae nimis parva sunt, portassis artis causa, quam obre non recte de picta sint suspicor, esse propter magnitudinem. Ut exemplum den, scutum, quicque quod singula militum operiat. Crassitudo laminarum ferrearum prorsus variabilis est in ipsa lorica, a septem decimis partibus millimetrorum ad 3 millimetra, spississimis vero laminis sumerorum, quae pars nimirum, fortissimast. Lorica e laminae sunt innexa e fiibulis ori calci, ansis aeneis lorisque scorteis. Mea versio quam hic videtis cupro puro utitur ad innexus laminarum corporis, atque ori calco ad humeros et laminas pectoris. Pondus universe a septem ad 9 kilogrammata soletesse. Lorica certo mutata ad ipsum militem, lorica e forma sinit militi, magna facultatem semovendi. Propter per multa inventa archaeologica iam compertum habemus diversis formis praebitam esse lorican hanc per imperium Romanum, forsitan statibus evolutionis suius loricae, ita sunt formae. Una, quae calcrise vocatur a nomine oppidi in Germania, quo eius fragmenta inventa sunt, alias forma Corbridge typus A et B in Britannia inventa, forma Newstead ex Caledonia tandem Alba Iulia, in Romania inventa. Forma calcrise verisimiliter ipsa est quautebantur milites cui mortui sunt in proelio silvae Teutoburgensis. Duoque genera habemus, alterum veterius, alterum moderniusculum ac multiplexius, fieri quidem potesteam esse inter primas formas prototypicas. Forma Corbridge pro clausurae mechanica ratione lororum scorteorum cum hamis metallicis, probabiliter visa est firmior. Typus A, lora scortea servat ad colligendas laminas pectorales ad reliquam loricam, dum typus B, utitur hamis metallicis, queu hic in mea versione verisimili potestis videre, quae est Corbridge typus B. E quadraginta laminis constata ec forma, apparatus collaris et humerorum constituerunt, e viginti quatuor laminis, et cingulo sedecin laminae. Fragmenta forma in Newstead qua imputeo principiorum a edifici inventa sunt, in oppido Newstead in Caledonia. Iterum nobis monstrant pauxillo mutatam formam, iam numero segmentatorum minore, ultimo quidem maximo. Alba Iulia est forma tarda, verisimiliter secundo aut tertio saeculo post Christum, et illa maxime differtabalis nem petardior forma, quamquam imagines quasi quidemus sunt reconstructiones hypoteticae. Inter commoda huius generis loricae uno est eius potestatem protegendi legionari humeros perbene. Oportet nomme minis escutum Romanum, quod essatis magnum, primum praesidium est militi, axi reecte adibebitur protectionem optimam, praebebit asura, usque ad claviculam. Bene, nobiles mei, spero foreut haec pellicula tibi plaquerit, et si ita memento te, pollice probando favendum, subscribendusque esse meo canali ad plura Metatronis, et memento te, Metatron, sua salas spansit. Valete.